When it comes down to it, nations use firearms to play the chords of history. Russia's newest musical release in this regard is the flashy but flawed AK-12 series, belonging to the Ratnik modernization album alongside the lesser-known banger, the Balanced Recoil Chord series. But here, we're going to step into the shoes of a really pretentious music snob and look at the unreleased song, the one that didn't make the cut, the unique yet unknown AS-1 and AS-2 Bullpup rifles. Now, we can't blame anyone for never having heard of these rifles. Firearm trials, especially Russian ones, always have weird one-off entries from the array of competitors. They never receive much attention or publication, as more often than not the designs focus on some novel but unfleshed-out idea, and lose to the safe and well-rounded choices, thus falling into obscurity without any actual service or further program developments. However, novelty, by definition, can be quite interesting, and that is why we decided to subject ourselves to scouring the Russian web. In this case, unearthing the testimony of a known Russian designer's post on a rather dated military forum. This designer, Igor Mikhailovich, goes by the online nickname Kochevnik, or Nomad in English. According to his postings, he retired after 32 years in service, and now runs his own accessories company for comm-block weapons. He is also considerably involved in the Russian firearms industry, and some projects originating from the Izmash factory, now Kalashnikov concern. Luckily for us, he has an aptitude towards shit-talking on the internet. Some viewers may know of Oxide's YouTube video covering the designer's Bullpup AK conversion kit that was designed in collaboration with Zenitco. And indeed, Kochevnik is a connoisseur of bullpups. He's designed not only the aforementioned kit, but also further bullpup experimentations with the AK, radical bullpup conversions for the PK series of MGs, took part in the AS-12 trials, and, the reason he's relevant to this video, is the only person with an online testimony of a personal, hands-on experience with the AS Bullpup series. The rifle's specifications aren't entirely clear, but the info we have is fascinating. The design is the work of Vladimir Zlobin at Izmash, which became Kalashnikov concern. They were first revealed in 2013 at the Innovation Day Expo, with Sergei Shoigu, the Minister of Defense of Russia, stating there the rifles would join the Ratnik modernization trials, the same trials that saw the eventual adoption of the AK-400 or AK-12, seen in the front lines of Ukraine today. According to sources, the FSB, Russia's internal security forces, originally ordered the development of the rifles for special operations. The series offers two chamberings, the AS-1 in 5.45 by 39mm and the AS-2 in 7.62 by 39mm. Presumably, only the very necessary dimensions were changed between them, such as the bolt face, magwell, and barrel, akin to such pairs as the AK-12 or AK-15 and the Cord A545 or A762. The rifle allegedly comes out to an overall length of 740mm, or around 29 inches. Barrel lengths are unknown, but presumably comparable, or at least in the ballpark of the standard AK barrel, at 415mm, or around 16 inches, or perhaps slightly over 500mm, or around 20 inches, sources varying. Very interestingly, it includes a radical feature to switch its operation from closed bolt to open bolt in machine gun mode, similar to True Velocity's also Bullpup RM-277 entry for the US Army's NGSW program. To complement this, it also possesses an RPK-like thicker, fluted barrel, and a mode with a higher rate of fire, all to improve its sustained fire capabilities. Not only all that, it also has the rather desirable feature of a bolt hold open with specially prepared AK pattern magazines, something the standard AK pattern lacked compared to its Western counterpart, the AR-15 and its derivatives. Also, the gun features a 3-position gas block to accommodate subsonic ammo with stealthy manual action using a gas cutoff, work better with suppressors, and to overgas to adjust to adverse conditions. To round it off, it includes a full-length, sturdy top rail, side rails for lights and lasers, a seemingly decent pistol grip and cheek rest, and a 2-chamber muzzle device capable of mounting a suppressor. Alongside this ambitious and kind of baller portfolio of features, it made a new attempt at the Bullpup layout. The Bullpup concept itself always tries to achieve one main objective: more barrel length for more bullet velocity without adding more overall length to the rifle. They often have a more enjoyable balance, more compactness, and therefore more maneuverability, which is perfect for CQB. However, when moving the chamber behind the trigger, Bullpups run into the problem of ensuring that from both shoulders, the shooter's face is clear of ejected casings, and the bolt handle. A lot of Bullpups just fucking don't even try to solve this, such as the in-service Tavor, AUG, FAMAS, L85, and others. The AS rifle series do attempt to provide a solution, much like the FS-2000 or RFB, but really more similar to the MDR. The AS features forward ejection right at the chamber/magwell section of the rifle. Because of this, some suspect the design's ancestry includes the KPB-produced ADS amphibious rifle and the A91 rifle, but that's mere personal speculation. Between this layout and the previously mentioned unprecedented suite of features, on paper, this is essentially the end-all rifle for the 21st century. However, there's of course a but. According to what Kochevnik attested to, it could be said that the AS's experience with this mechanism was the MDR's experience, but much worse and never resolved. Desert Tech's MDR had many teething issues and troubles upon its release, from ejection issues to double feeds to poor quality control and more. The company tried to address this with programs to introduce various fixes to customers' purchased rifles, the new MDRX generation, and offering a variant of the rifle that just simply forewent the forward ejection mechanism altogether. While we don't know the exact geometry of the AS-1's mechanism, Kochevnik's post revealed it was quite damning for the rifle. In one comment he states, quote, "Out of the 19 rifles we received, only 2 of them were able to withstand up to 400 rounds without any malfunctions. 3 rifles completely failed." He accompanied it with the following photos, showing 2 major and devastating malfunctions caused by failed ejections, which in turn caused casings to get deeply wedged and obstruct the cycling of the rifle. The perspective of the camera shot shows the, quote, "most convenient way of reaching the chamber and clearing the jam. That is, by unloading the magazine and fishing out the multitude of well-embedded casings, as Bullpups usually have rather obtuse disassembly and clearance procedures, and this one is no exception. This is very much the opposite of the beloved Kalashnikov it was attempting to replace, and well, in combat, such a frustration could be rather fucking fatal." His bashing, however, does not end with just issues limited to the ejection. In a further post, he lists more shortcomings, some leading to the rifle becoming completely inoperable. He said, quote, "For example, we had a broken spring in the rate reduction mechanism. There is no repair available in field conditions or in the unit, which led to a complete loss of the rifle's functionality. With an AK, a similar breakdown would only result in an increased rate of fire. The firing pin guide rod also broke, resulting in a complete failure that requires repair in factory conditions. The magazine would spontaneously drop out. The bolt would jam in the rear position, causing a complete failure. 3 rounds were sometimes fed simultaneously. I've seen 2, but 3 rounds in one go was the first time, with bullets protruding from the magazine. There were also frequent simple cartridge misfeeds. In single fire mode with the machine gun setting, shooting with an open bolt, you had to press the trigger twice to fire. The first press would chamber a round, and the second would result in a shot, and this had to be done every time." He mentioned that he adamantly brought these concerns up with official representatives and criticized the choice to go with a new rifle instead of the original concept of introducing these features to the AK platform, something he's personally experimented with, albeit to little adoption. Unlike the MDR, Kalashnikov concern, while having already, quote, "serialized these rifles and taken them out of the prototype stage, did not care to give them any further love," probably in line with Kochevnik's claims that the product was flawed in its fundamental design. Max Popenker, essentially Russia's own Ian McCollum of Forgotten Weapons, only mentions the rifle in passing to claim the Russian firearm industry rather forgot the rifle. It also doesn't help that the secretive FSB was the main patron of the project. In regards to this rifle, a failure to innovate to the end has meant a failure to leave any legacy for it in the end. It's kind of a shame for such an ambitious and almost revolutionary project to lead to nothing, but such as many Russian forays into firearm developments. Besides Kochevnik's own photos, the rifle lacks any in-the-wild sightings nor publications outside of the initial reveal. The gun does make a small video game appearance in the Russian-made shooter Caliber, albeit with model inaccuracy in a game featuring otherwise rather mint-quality gun porn, both Western and Eastern. Vladimir Zlobin would, of course, soon move on to working on the design of the famous first AK-12 prototypes, which may be a subject for another time, so feel free to stay tuned for that and other content.